Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where we talk all things Marvel along with other fandoms, but without the toxicity that's taken up way too much space in each and every fandom. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and today I am joined by the wonderful woman behind JansComicSpace, Janelle. And
Hi.
today we are going to discuss all the wild news that's come out from DC and Marvel. Janelle, thank you for being here.
I'm excited to be here, Megan. We've been talking about this like since forever for us to talk. And
Yes.
the week went on, and then news just kept coming out, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I know. And then we were like so busy on certain days, and it was like, I just want to do it so bad though.
Right.
So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about you?
Yes, so my name is Janelle, but I go by Jan's Comic Space on TikTok. I'm with Nerd Initiative. I'm in the comics bullpen, and I'm also covering TV shows and movies sometimes. I just love Marvel, DC, everything. I'm just a well-rounded nerd. I'm really into comics, as I said, and I just love, creating and talking to people about the things that I love. So definitely, I love everything that is nerdy.
I will say it is hard to find such a positive presence in nerd culture. And for anyone who's not following Janelle, I highly recommend it. She is so sweet and so nice. And I love her enthusiasm and excitement. It's something that it's infectious. It just like gets you going.
Oh, Megan, you're awesome too. I've
Aw.
been a big fan since we collabed a couple times at Nerd Initiative for some of our reviews. So I know you're good people. Lauren, all the girls that are in Comics Bullpen are awesome.
Dude, we have like the best team, and 100% the women are incredible. It's so hard because I'm not like I'm a girl's girl. I'm all for all women, but I don't get along with women very well, just because they're not usually nerdy.
No, you really
So
can't find anybody. Like
you
I got
can't.
lucky with you guys. Like
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Like we really did get lucky because like not only are we all just nerding it up, just vibing, but like everyone is super insanely nice in at Nerd Initiative. It's wild.
And that's good to have like just a group of people so you could like bounce ideas off of, and then also just listen to their opinion when they do videos or when they do reviews. So then I'm not like second guessing and being like, oh, is this actually good? And then like you can go to like yourself or Meg or Lauren, and be like, oh, they said that this is good, so probably it's good.
I agree. I've definitely learned a lot from a lot of the people at Nerd Initiative, so, and including you. So,
Oh,
but I know we have been going crazy over this news that we're going to discuss, and I know that you are a DC girly. So let's start with the DC news.
yeah.
So first up, James Watkins is now set to direct Clayface. How excited are you for a Clayface movie?
I'm pretty excited. I know a little bit about Clayface, but not too much. I know it from the Harley Quinn series that I've been
Hmm.
watching diligently. So I know about that character through the animation space. But it'll be really interesting to see how they do a Clayface movie. I kind of know a little bit of his backstory. So it's good to have different characters from the DCU. So I'm really excited about that.
I am too. I'm probably in the same boat. I don't know too much about Clayface. I think like the most I've known about him is from the animated shows like Creature Commandos, for example. That's the last place I saw him. So I don't know too much, but I am like hesitant on how that's gonna transfer into live action because he is a weird looking dude.
He is, but if he has the right backstory, which James Gunn usually tries to do, I think it'll be fine. But like you said, like it's hard to translate that to live action, but hopefully and Peter, because they're both co-CEOs, when they look over it, they'll be like, if the script isn't good, they're not going to go forward with it. So hopefully they kind of flush out the character and then cast it right. You got to have a good person to be able to act it out and then go from there.
I agree. I do love that James Gunn made that known that he will not greenlight anything if the script isn't ready. I love Marvel. I love the MCU, but they could learn from that so heavily.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, our next bit of news, a series of crypto shorts are in the works at DC. This I'm super excited, and like no one else was. And it's such a bummer.
I get it because like crypto like he's a good character. I like Crypto. I saw the Super Pet thing, the movie with my little cousin, and it was cute. And I was like, oh my goodness. And of course, Crypto will be appearing in Superman in July. So I'm really curious to see how they will approach it. Maybe they'll do it more like over at Marvel. They do Groot. With the little shorts and stuff like that. So it's just his little adventures as being Crypto the dog. Because James Gunn, I know, likes to have him kind of be like his dog that he has in real life. So it could also like bring another audience in. Maybe I know you have a daughter, a younger daughter, so like maybe that is they're trying to pull in the younger audience as well. So there's probably a couple things that are going on as to why they wanted it in the first place.
I think the same. I think it's going to be just like the Groot miniseries, which I loved. I thought it was so cute. I love that extra content they give. That's not movies or a show. It's just
Right.
like fun. It's like a one-off on in a comic book. It's just fun.
And I love that it's not connected to anything because sometimes you don't really want everything connected. Like
Yeah.
over at Marvel, they had like the Christmas special. Like, I love that. Like, give me more of
Mhm.
that. Werewolf by Night. Like, it was like just totally different. Like, I like that because sometimes, as a person who, heavily follows everything, sometimes you do need a break from the quote unquote the main things that are coming out. So to have this kind of break and to kind of just have fun with the show is really important.
No, I agree completely. It's nice to have just a random bit of content you can enjoy and not have to worry about where does this fit into the timeline? What universe are they in? It's just like just enjoy. It is fine. We are good. Like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It was nice to see a show that you didn't have to worry about.
Right. And I know a lot of people had a lot of problems with that. I mean, we could talk about that a little bit later, but again, just having those things that are just not connected, you could just watch it. That's it, and just leave it alone.
I agree because it's exhausting trying to figure out what goes where. Like at DC, for so long we were all so confused about what is going on and why is everything dark, Snyder? But now we have Gunn at the reins, but we also have Matt Reeves doing his own thing and it's like I hate this. I it's like we're in a custody battle kind of and mommy and daddy are making their own Batmans.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that they kind of get it together because the future of DC is riding on this. The Superman movie has to be corrected. We want the Batman, but they're taking forever to bring Robert Pattinson back. And I saw he
Yeah.
made a quote that, like, listen, I don't want to be old and doing the Batman. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, hurry up. And
And
yeah, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. Sorry. I don't know why I said
No,
something.
it's okay. No, but I really want them to figure it out because Matt Reeves is doing a good job. Of course, Colin Farrell won an award for the Penguin, um, and just that whole world is working. And it is, you shouldn't stop something that's not working. But if you wanted to establish your own DCU, I would have already had Batman established in James Gunn's world before we even brought in Matt Reeves like Batman. If we were gonna do all that, I would have just like did the reverse and then had him have his own separate series.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But although, like, I love Battison, I love him as Batman.
Hmm.
He is such a fucking snack too. Oh my lord. So it's like, Gunn, why wouldn't you want this? But then it's like, I think Gunn has a pretty big ego, which it comes with the territory of making these movies, being a director, and now you're like co-CEO of DC, you should have an ego that comes with that. But it's like I know you. It's because you didn't choose him. I know it, James Gunn, but I'd probably be the same way though.
Yeah, but again, like I just want James Gunn to get along with Matt Reeves because
Mhm.
ultimately he has a successful kind of universe over there. So you don't want to break that like bond. You don't want to break that
Mhm.
relationship because then that it can go left and get canceled. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want them to have beef, but James just has to get it together. I mean, and they have to just make decisions about like, okay, well, like, this is what we're doing, and just kind of stand on business.
I agree completely. But speaking of the Superman, James Gunn said maybe it was today or yesterday. They all the days blend together these days.
Right.
Um, he said that he did early screenings for Superman and the results were disappointing.
Mm.
So they're having to go back and reshoot so they can fix the complaints. And I was like, that's very, very transparent. I do really like that about him, that he is so open. He's like, we know there's issues. He stays ahead of the rumors, he stays ahead of the clickbait. He's like, we're reshooting to fix what people did not like. And it's like, you can't not support that. That's a great thing. That means you care about the fans.
Yes. And that's ultimately what you need to be doing at the end of the day. I mean, I know over there with Marvel and Kevin Feige, Kevin really kind of came into like just blindness of everything, over, at Marvel until he kind of figured it out. With James Gunn, he already came into an established universe that was not working. So when you become the CEO, you're thinking, okay, I have to um, think about the fans because if I don't have the fans on my side, everything's not going to work. So
Yeah.
definitely, I'm glad that he kind of went back. I know for Captain America: Brave New World, they did the same thing. They had to reshoot, they had to fix the script and things like that. And now people are happy with the movie. So it's really important to listen to the fans, and then also just keep it to the comics. Like it's so easy. The blueprint is right there.
That's what I've always said. I was like, how can you fail the test when the answers are there, right there? Like, it's so easy. And it's like, with a few movies, it's like, it was very clear the directors did not read the comics, which, not everyone does. But it was very clear that some movies, they were doing it in spite of the comics. They're like, I can make something better. And it's like, bro, wait, no,
Right.
don't, now's not the time.
Exactly. And I get so frustrated when they're like, "Oh, we don't know exactly where we're going to go with everything." Like, no, like use the comics. We're not saying take everything from it. We're as fans, no. If you have to change things for the good of the movie and it makes more sense for you to take out certain things, that's fine. But we're asking to keep the blueprint of what is in the comics. Like if there's a certain characteristic or if there's a certain storyline that has to be this way, keep it that way. And then move, to change something else. Like you just have to be kind of smart with the way that like you like people have to like, you know, think of these movies and think of these comics, you know?
Yeah, it's like Daredevil Born Again. They kept the main characters very, very close to their comic counterpart, and they are pulling from the comics. I like that I can watch the show and say, oh, that's from Daredevil 468. I like that shit. It makes me feel smart. But they do change other characters, like they changed Karen and Heather. But the changes made sense for the show, but they kept the ones that the reason we're watching the show is for Daredevil, Wilson Fisk, Punisher, Muse. They kept them. I think we have not seen Punisher or Muse, but I have a good feeling about it.
Oh yeah,
They kept them good.
I love John Bernthal as Punisher. Like I'm so excited to see him. And yeah, like just like what Daredevil's doing, you just got to be strategic with it. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah, just choose your battles.
Right, choose your
That's it.
battles.
Yeah. So, some very exciting news. James Gunn confirms a Teens Titans movie is in the works. And I believe there was going to be one, but then it was like canceled, then it wasn't, then they just magically stopped talking about it. But now he's like, we are doing it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I love the original Teen Titans, the animated version.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this yesterday, and I was thinking about like back when I was little, I would always watch the Teen Titans animated show. I just really just want them to do it right, you know? Like I want the original Teen Titans. I know that there was a couple like characters that were are within the Teen Titans that like are without like, you know, Cyborg, Starfire, but I want the main ones. I don't want any of the other ones. I want my Robin, I want my Cyborg, I want my Starfire, Beast Boy, like and Raven. Like
Yes.
I want them. I don't want
The
anything
gang.
else.
Yeah, I agree. I I was like, "Oh my god, I like grew up on the Teen Titans. I love the Teen Titans." I hated Teen Titans Go, and I was like, "What if James Gunn just goes and trolls us all and makes a live action Teen Titans Go and it's just a bunch of little like preteen kids acting annoying as hell?"
Oh no, please don't. No, no, no. Like even with the terrible Titans TV show, like you got to give it to him that like some of the episodes I watched it actually. Some of the episodes were really good. And I was like, "Okay, like this is decent." So like they can do a decent Teen Titans movie if they just get the right people, get the right script and shoot it and let's see how it goes because everybody knows their characters, you know, everybody knows their backstories hopefully by now,
Yeah.
but you never know.
Well, I think out of all the things that was announced, I think Teen
Teen Titans
Titans is
go.
in the I'm terrified. I think Teen Titans is in the best has the best chance of succeeding because what does James Gunn do? He does ragtag team ups with feisty attitude, the whimsical, all around. He gets it. Guardians of the Galaxy, Creature Commandos, Suicide Squad. He gets it.
Yeah.
So I think we're in pretty good hands with a
Oh
Teen
yeah,
Titans movie.
he does a good team up movie. He does a good team up movie. Can't knock him for that. But as as he stated before though, like he's trying to kind of distance himself from like, you know, directing all of the movies because he wants to give directors a chance to come in and do their version of things. So I mean, I wouldn't be mad if, you know, another director said, "Hey, you know, I'll get on board and do the Teen Titans movie."
Yeah, just have like Gunn as a consultant or something.
Right. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, I agree. Look at us.
Right.
Look at us.
Look at
So then, look at us. So the next one, Starfire and Green Lantern's animated shows are in the works. I am so excited for a Starfire show. The Green Lanterns one, it's oh, what is the name of it? My Adventures with Green Lantern. Did you ever watch My
that.
Adventures with
With
Superman?
Superman, yes. Oh, I love that show. So if it's going to be the same thing, I think I posted on Twitter that like if it's going to be in the same vein as My Adventures with Superman, I'm on board. I'm ready. Like that is a fantastic show. It was well crafted, well animated. Loved it. So if we're going like that, I'm ready for that. Now the Starfire show, I don't know anything about. Like I do know that I do like the character Starfire because you know
Mm-hmm.
of the Teen Titans, but I'm really interested to see how they're going to kind of craft that show. Like, is it going to be kind of like Harley Quinn? You know, like where it's like she's in her own world and she's just interacting with the like the Teen Titans because she gotta she gotta interact with them at some point. You know, so I'm really curious to see how they're going to craft that show because, like, you know, it's hard to make a character who's within a team, in the spotlight, you know, versus like the with the Lantern show, um, you know, the main character. I think it's one of the women that is going to be the main character. That's what I
Jessica
saw
Cruz.
online.
Jessica Cruz.
Yeah, Jessica Cruz. So, um, I can understand that, but Starfire, I don't know how they're gonna make it different.
I think their best bet is to make it a prequel to Teen Titans Go and show her origin, show her up how all her life up until she gets with the Teen Titans. Like it's a limited series. I think that would be perfect because I think limited series are so underrated.
Hmm.
Like give me one good season, complete the season like if it's an origin story something and it leads to some another project, perfect. Like WandaVision, Agatha all along. These things like Moon Knight, like
Right.
I feel like they're so slept on and everyone wants a season 2. It's like it doesn't have to be that way. It's a connected universe.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that originality, like the way that they have Harley Quinn. Like I've been enjoying Harley Quinn these last couple of years, and animation has really made it up in the world because even with Invincible, like I just watched it yesterday, it's fantastic, and they know how to craft it. They take their time, like so. I'm really excited, and DC does really well with animated shows.
Yeah, they've always dominated. There's no denying it. No one can. I'm Marvel girl all the way through, but I can't even hold that.
You know what?
Yeah,
Their
no.
first show, their show, the with Spider Man, is probably one of the first animated shows that I actually was like attached to. Marvel doesn't do animation well.
They don't.
They
And
don't.
but it seems like they're changing because X-Men 97 was phenomenal.
Right.
So it feels like
Hit and miss.
they went through some stuff,
Right.
but let's hope.
It's hit or miss. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes, but it should be consistent. Like DC is always consistent with the animated shows.
Yeah.
Like I'm
They've
just
always
like,
done
oh,
better.
it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Marvel's like, that was good. No, that wasn't great. Oh, that was good. No, no, no.
Oh, I agree. Like you have the animated Batman series, but then you had X-Men the animated series. And it's like, look, I grew up on the X-Men. I love that show. But if you go back and rewatch that show, if you dive in that show for the first time right now, you will absolutely hate that show. It is such a hard show to watch. But the animated Batman series is not. And it's always been they've always dominated.
Yeah, yeah,
So can't deny it.
yep.
All right. So, my last piece of DC news, because we got all of this news like one day,
Right.
then they were just quiet, which I hate that they do that. So, a new animated Superpowers is in the works at DC. The series follows students Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aqua Girl, Green Lantern, and Terra learning at a school headed by Principal Martian Manhunter.
Ooh, I love Martian Manhunter. I don't think I ever told you why I love Martian Manhunter. I love me some Martian. In the animated series, I forget what I watched. I think I watched like for the Superman the animated series. They did this one episode for the Christmas episode, and Martian Manhunter didn't have anywhere to go, so he went to Superman's house, and they gave him a gift with a little sweater, and I was like, oh my god, oh. I love me some Martian Manhunter. I want him to come to the DCU for sure. And he has so many cool powers too. Um, but as far as the show, yeah, it that sounds good. It sounds like it's like a what is that called? What was that show from Netflix? Umbrella Academy. With
Oh, yeah.
all the kids
Yeah.
and they go to school and they got the powers and the stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to be like.
I think so too. I saw a lot of people were not pleased with this news and I was like, but that's a really fun cast you have there. Like a lot of these are very underrated characters. And plus there's also even more Green Lantern because like we're our heads are going to be filled. All our faces are going to be green this year
Right.
and next year because you have lanterns,
Right.
my adventures with the Green Lanterns, and then this that has a Green Lantern. But like there's so many cool characters in this. I don't understand why are people not excited. Like Aqua Girl, Flash, Plastic Man?
Cause they're just not invested. Like most of the
Yeah.
people are just not invested in the DC animation, and I don't know why. Like if you want quality DC stuff like that even happened before James and Peter came in, that is what you need to watch. The DC animated shows because they never miss. They never miss. So I probably also the characters. People are not really big fans of all those characters that you mentioned, and like everybody just wants to see the big what 4 or 5 Wonder
Yeah.
Woman.
The big Justice
Yeah, the
Leaguers.
Justice League and stuff. I mean, and which is fine. But I like seeing other characters. Like I said, Martian Manhunter. I love me some Martian Manhunter. I don't know why. I think that episode really like stayed with me, and I was like, oh, I want Martian Manhunter because this is so
It's kind of like
cool.
you just want to like kind of like adopt them, like, oh my God, let me help you. And then they just stick with you. I get that.
Yeah. So I mean, I really, and again, like, people don't really, or like, they're not really committed to the DC like animated like series. Like, I don't know why. Just
I
watch
think it's
it.
because it's mostly casual watchers, like the ones who
Yes.
just watch the movies. They don't read the comics. They don't watch the extra stuff. They're just there for the blockbuster.
Right. So, oh well, we're good. More stuff for us.
True. So that does it for DC.
Woo!
Uh, that was a banger of episode for DC, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So we're moving on to Marvel. The Russo brothers confirmed on RDJ prepping for his big Doctor Doom debut. Oh, that was
I'm never
horrible.
gonna let you live that down, Megan.
I wouldn't either. That's fair. They say that Robert Downey Jr. is so immersed in Doctor Doom prep ahead of Avengers Doomsday filming. He said he's so dialed in. He's writing backstory, costume ideas. I think he sees a real opportunity here with the character. And my thing is like, why is he writing backstory?
Well, you got to remember the comics. I don't know if you've read. I just started picking up some Doctor Doom comics, and Doctor Doom does have a lot of backstory. And I remember somebody was saying, like, if they don't introduce him in the Fantastic Four, we're gonna have a problem because,
Yeah,
like, Reed Richards is very heavily involved with Doctor Doom. So if
yeah,
they don't establish that in that movie, then Doomsday has to set up everything. It has to start from scratch because we don't know this character. As like fans and like moviegoers, like, unless you read the comics. So
yeah,
I'm not surprised, and especially because I don't know if you've watched RDJ's Oppenheimer. When he was
yeah.
in there and he won his Oscar, he did a fantastic job as whatever his character name was. I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know.
But
I just know
he
Oppenheimer.
did good. So he can change into like another person. Cause like I was like, oh boy, I don't know if he's gonna do it. He's gonna do. And I watched Oppenheimer and I was like, wow, okay, stretching your little legs, okay. So I'm really excited to see what he comes up with. I mean, and it's RDJ. They're paying him a lot of money for him to come back. They're, of course, they're going to give kind of like quote unquote creative liberty because he was so successful with Iron Man. Um, so it's gonna happen, and but I'm really glad that he kind of looks out for Tom Holland as well, because Tom was saying in one of the interviews that I watched that he had to go to RDJ to just figure out, okay, like, what should I be doing, because he's like, I need to get paid. I'm kind of trying to wrap up Spider Man a little bit. Like, I really want to kind of get paid the stuff that I need to get paid. Now I'm going into Spider Man 4. So RDJ has been definitely mentoring Tom to get him to the point of honestly where RDJ is, because they
Yeah.
can't do this stuff without them. Um, but yeah, what are your opinion?
I go back and forth on RDJ as Doom because it's like he's probably going to be a variant. Like,
Right.
like the appetizer before the main
Uh
course. I
huh.
think we're going to see a bigger Doom at some point.
Right.
Or, like, I had a thought, like, what if he's not even Doom? What if he's just what Doom's Doom bots look like?
Oh.
Like, I thought that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Right? But this, like, I know this statement had a lot of people worried because they're like, why is RDJ writing backstory at all about Doom? That should be the Russos doing that. And it's like, we don't know. He could be helping. We don't
Right.
know what he knows about Doom. We don't know how big of a fan he is. I mean, look what all he did, like you said, with Iron Man.
Mhm.
Just I trust him to do it justice. I'm just worried that I personally won't like the story it goes with it. But it's like it's still Doctor Doom, like
Right. He's the big
he's
bad,
dope.
and you got to
Yeah.
remember too that, like, he was not originally supposed to be with like this whole thing. because
Yep.
Jonathan Majors had gotten in trouble. It would have been awesome to see the Kang Dynasty because Jonathan could have killed it. He could have killed this. Like, I would have
Yeah.
loved to see him, like, just terrorize everybody. But you had to pivot. So now we got RDJ as Doctor Doom. And I trust the Russo brothers because they've had this
Yep.
successful run with all the movies that we love. And they're trying to make it probably bigger than what Infinity War and Endgame is, you know? So,
Well, speaking on that, they also gave an estimate on the run times, what they could be for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Doomsday will be around 2.5 hours, Secret Wars, 3 hours.
I don't know how they're able to estimate that, because, like, part of me is like, okay, like, yes, like, if you break it down, you gotta have, like, the beginning, gotta have the middle, gotta have the end. I mean, and maybe that is the point of them having backstory from RDJ because they have to
Mm,
fill in that part, like, first to establish who he is and what his main purpose is. Because you gotta remember too, it has to connect to Secret Wars. We gotta get to
yeah.
Secret Wars. So definitely, I can understand that now that you said that. But you really can't estimate the runtime. Apparently, they're supposed to be starting to film in April. Um, we don't know. Like, you can say, oh, it's gonna be 2.5, 3 hours, and then it's like, no, we were just kidding. It's kind of less than that, a little bit less than that, because we had to edit all this footage out because it didn't make sense. Like, you don't really know until you actually see everything and edit everything. So,
Yeah, I agree. They probably might be, that's what they're aiming for. Like, that is their goal. But I feel like it's very, very early to give us anything. Also, Secret Wars should be 2 parts. I'm just going to say it. There's no
oh,
way.
how so?
Yeah. It's just such a big event, and there's going to be so many characters involved that you want each one to shine in their own right.
Hmm.
So, why wouldn't you just make it 2 parts?
But I thought the main thing of Secret Wars, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that all of these multiverses are kind of collapsing on themselves, because we do have Loki holding everything together, but eventually everything is going to collapse, and people are trying to save, quote unquote, their own timeline, So, like, it's different variants from different times, from different multiverses. Am I
Well, they
correct?
all come together, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They all come together, and it's like, but it's different teams. Like, you have the Guardians of the Galaxy, you
Hmm.
have the Avengers, the old Avengers, the variant Avengers, you have young Avengers, you have random vigilantes of New York. Like, you have everyone for Secret Wars, and that's why it's like it should be 2 parts. I think like the build up, like Infinity War and Endgame,
Right.
because I want them to do it justice. And like if there is a soft reboot, some of these characters we will never see again.
That's
So you want that last time you see them to be memorable.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, but I'm really not to disappoint you, Megan. I think one movie would be fine because,
That's fine.
like, I just think that once you're done with that, then we can move on to, like you said, new characters. And it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have to, like, remember any of these characters. They passed away. They're killed. We're done with them. So I think, especially wrapping up, especially of some of these characters, because they've been playing these characters for like 10 plus years, 10, almost 20 years, and
That's right. Get rid of Ruffalo. I'm not a fan.
Megan.
I'm just not a fan of him as
Megan.
Bruce Banner and Hulk. I just see like romantic comedy Mark Ruffalo and it just drives me nuts. It's like every time he tries to be really serious or like he's always angry, I'm just like,
Please
stop.
stop. I
You're
know.
from 13 going on
I
30.
know. I know. But I'm just hopeful that they could kind of wrap up everything because that's what the Russo brothers do. Just like they did with Infinity War. I mean, yeah, Infinity War and Endgame. Like, that was 10 years of just, wrapping that up in a bow. Now we got to wrap
Yeah.
up the multiverse in a bow, you know? So,
Yeah. And I'm going to need them to stay at Marvel. They're
I know. I don't know where they think that they're going. Like, no, I need you to direct the next big
I'm
movie.
I'm saying, like, first of all, the audacity. You're home now. Because I don't want to be rude about it, but like everything they make in Marvel is phenomenal.
Right.
But everything they make outside of Marvel
It. I
flops.
know. You know what? But no, they had the one. Didn't they direct? I think it was with was it with Hemsworth? Extract. Did they do Extract from Netflix?
Did they do
I
Extract?
think so. That was
Oh, they
good.
did.
That was good.
The second one, somehow they made a sequel even better than the original.
That was good. Everything else,
Yeah.
no.
Well, like they're like a movie of theirs dropped today and it got 10%.
Wow. Yeah, the Electric State. Yeah, I heard the
Yep.
reviews are horrible.
Horrible. And it's like, uh, poor guys. I mean, you don't win them all, but like they'll win here. They'll win with us. They win in our hearts.
Right. I mean, and they're true comic fans, I believe. You know, like they
Yeah.
like this stuff. Like you gotta if you're directing this stuff, you kind of have to be a fan of this stuff.
Yeah. Takai Watiti. But moving on to news everyone liked, Matthew Lillard has been cast in Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Now, do we know what character he is?
Nope.
Hmm. Well, I'm a big.
I want Jester.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm.
Well, I don't know what he's gonna play. I'm just gonna keep it, open minded. I saw him in what's it called? Five Nights of Freddy. Five Nights of
Yeah.
yeah,
Five Nights at
at
Freddy's?
Freddy's. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I just see it when I turn on Peacock.
Right,
I'm like,
right. And he
someday.
was good in that. Of course, he's originally he was the actor for Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm excited to see what he's gonna bring because you never know with Matthew Lillard's character. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. So
No idea, but you know he's gonna nail it
oh
because
yeah,
it's Matthew Lillard. So he could be cashier number 4 for all I care, and it's gonna be
it's gonna
amazing.
be amazing. It's gonna be great.
So moving on, John Bernthal will be co-writing the Punisher special presentation for Marvel Studios. This is a big deal for two reasons. One, he's getting a special presentation. He's co-writing it. Two, they're back to special presentations, which I love because they need that. I think they need to take advantage of that.
Special presentations are in my heart. Like I'm just like,
Right.
why didn't they keep going? Like it wasn't successful. Like the Christmas special, Werewolf by Night, now this. Like I love those one off stories, and like you kind of get engrossed in them, and you're like, oh, that was good. I didn't need like 8 episodes. I just needed a little special, and I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. So for this one, Reynaldo Marcus Green, I guess who directed King Richard, which I did not see, is set to direct, and he describes it as a shotgun blast of a story, but also has all the pathos and emotion.
Yeah,
And I 100% believe him because if John Bernthal's co-writing it, it's going to be amazing because he takes that character so seriously.
King Richard was good. So I mean that's what got Will Smith his Oscar. So
What?
that will definitely that gives me hope that it's going to be good. And John Bernthal knows the character of the Punisher already. Like he's played it for a number of years. So and of course he's coming back for what do you call it? Daredevil Born Again. So I am not, you know, I'm not happy like that he's he's going to be able to have that opportunity to write and to help, kind of bring the world together and everything.
Yeah, I remember he said that he would come back to play Punisher. This was before he was announced to be in Born Again. He would only come back if Marvel, the MCU did the Punisher justice. They didn't, they didn't Disneyfy it. We know what that means.
Yeah,
Like, just water it down.
watered down.
And yeah, when he first got the role, he went out, he talked to comic book fans on where he should start to study in the
Hmm.
comics. Like that's what we need when we get these movies and these shows. But with these special presentations, why are they not using these as origin stories for their characters? Like a Nova special presentation
Yes,
would be great.
that would be awesome, especially because we
Yeah.
haven't had Nova. And it seems like over. I know we were done talking about DC, but It seems like that's exactly what they're doing over at DC, having these little small things. Um, Marvel should have just kept going with the special presentations because they were successful. Everybody liked them. Keep it going, you know. So then you can
Yeah.
even introduce new characters, you know, like the Novas and other characters that we haven't heard of.
Yeah. Like imagine they use these to introduce characters that were being in the movies. Like
Exactly.
imagine we got a Sentry special presentation
Yeah,
for Thunderbolts.
that would
That
be
would have made
nice.
so much sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like that. Give me that.
Yeah, Marvel, if you're listening, I'll give you that idea for free. Just do it. My
Exactly.
gosh.
I
But still, like finder's fee, you know?
Yeah. But again, they just have to again like just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and get your people and that's it.
That's it. So, speaking of Nova, we are on our last bit of news. That isn't, I wish I didn't end it on this one because this one is actually kind of sad news. Marvel Studios paused development for three shows: Nova, Terror Inc., and Strange Academy.
Now, did you know anything about I don't know anything about Terror Inc. Terror Inc.
No one does.
and no?
I have no idea
No.
what that is. So, Strange Academy was expected to focus on Wong, but the thing to keep in mind about all three of these, they were never greenlit.
Oh,
They never had the go. That so like I was like, what are you pausing development for then? And I guess they were
well,
like, we're just throwing around ideas, and then we're like, nah.
well, probably because it doesn't fit into the quote unquote timeline, of like all the
Mm-hmm.
content that needs to come out, because I know that there were some missing things from when they did the presentation at San Diego Comic Con. There were some things that were missing, and that afterwards, like things were announced. So, I mean, it probably just didn't fit into anything, like, oh, well, we're not going to introduce Nova until so and so. Or, oh, Wong's already going to be in Secret Wars or Doomsday. I'm just hypothetical.
But
Why does
probably
he
will be.
need a TV show? And then the Terror Inc. I don't know what the Terror Inc. would be, but you know,
Yeah, I saw people say, no way, they were gonna do Terror Inc. And I was like, you don't know what it is. Just shut up. None of us do. Like, but Nova, it's like you guys dropped the ball on Nova because we've already gotten the Nova Corpse. How do you not have Nova? Like
right?
that's always driven me nuts. But Strange Academy would have been great because I want them to bring Ned there with Wong.
Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. Hmm.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, the most important thing is like maybe they're trying to also get like scripts done. If it's not greenlit, if it's not like there was no good script, why do it?
So that's all we have for news. Thank you for going through all this news with me. That would have been really a bummer to do it by myself. Plus, it was so much fun.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't mention the leaks for.
Because I think they were proven to be fake.
Oh, okay. Okay. We don't have
Yeah,
that problem.
they were made by AI, so I was like,
Eh.
okay,
Okay.
that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. But like, I liked them though. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever.
But yeah, um, I was excited to discuss those, and then it was like, all right, you took that away from me. Why'd you guys even leak them? But then it's like the Fantastic Four ones; those seems really legit. But apparently they're in the same. But we know she's gonna be pregnant with Franklin. You could see her like walking with
Yeah,
that
you can see
without the
the
bump.
waddle, and I'm like, that is a pregnant woman. That is a pregnant woman.
Dude, I saw that walk and I was like, I know that walk. I've walked that walk. I know it.
You know
That
it.
is a pregnant woman. And the movie's called First Steps.
Right. Exactly. Come on.
Ridiculous. But thank you for going through all of this with me. Where can our listeners find you?
You can find me at Jan's Comic Space on TikTok, any socials, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Jan's Comic Space. If you look it up, I'm there.
And you can find her at Nerd Initiative when she makes all this content for
Oh
them.
yeah,
And it's really great content. So if you're not checking out Nerd Initiative, what are you doing?
I am. I mean, come on, like it has everything.
Yeah, right? So With that being said, thank you for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. I'm gonna need you back on for like all the DC
Oh
stuff
yeah,
because you know your DC stuff, and I'm just dipping my toes in. So
I'll be back.
you're you're on my retainer as the
Yay!
DC girl. Yes. With that being said, thank you for listening to this episode of Vigilante Vibes. Wherever you're listening to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my amazing guests like Janelle or any future episode. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a marvelous night.